In this video, we will demonstrate how NextLabs Data Access Enforcer, or DAE, can be used to enforce policies restricting users' access to data manipulation language, or DML, commands, regardless of the application that is being used to access the data. In this demo, we will show the following DML policy enforcement functionality using DAE for Windows. First, we will show how policies restricting a user's ability to execute SQL queries can be enforced when they are executing those queries through SQL+. By using user and data attributes, we will show how a user's access can be restricted for select, update, delete, and insert commands. Next, we will show enforcement of the same policies through the HANA DB Studio application. This shows that DAE for Windows can be used to enforce DML policies consistently, regardless of the data access application that is being used to access the data in the database. Now, let's take a look at this in the system. Here we can see how DAE can be used to enforce DML restrictions on Windows, specifically with the SQL+. First, we will see how this user is only able to see records where the bank's S value is QA or the bank's S value is AT. And if the bank L value is Q and B, the IBAN field will be masked. Here you can see that this user is only able to view the records where bank's S equals QA or AT. And the IBAN value is masked when this value is equal to Q and B. Next, we will see how the user is restricted to only updating or deleting records where the bank S value is QA or AT. In this case, we are updating the bank L value to SSS, and that succeeds because bank S is equal to AT. If, on the other hand, we try to do an update where bank S equals DE, no rows are updated because the policy is enforced by DAE to not allow this user to perform that update function on those records. In the same way also, if we try to delete records where bank S equals DE, no rows will be deleted. Again, because this user is prevented from performing the delete function on those records. Finally, this user is not allowed to insert records into this database. Now we will try to execute this insert query. The insert query does not succeed because this user does not have privileges to run the insert operation. This shows how DAE for Windows can be used to limit the data manipulation languages commands that a user is allowed to execute. Now we will see how DAE enforces data manipulation language, or DML policies, on Windows through the HANA DB Studio. First, we will try to run a select statement. This succeeds. However, as you can see, the IBAN number is masked for any of the records where the bank L value is Q and B. Also, you can see that the records are filtered to only show those where the bank S value is QA or AT. This is consistent with the data access policy as defined in the NextLabs Control Center. Now we will try to run the update commands. First, we're running the update command to set the bank S value, where the bank S value is equal to US. As you can see, there were 0 rows affected because this user is only allowed to execute update commands where bank S equals QA or bank S equals AT. We can also try to execute this update command. Again, 0 rows are updated because the user does not have privileges to update records where bank S is equal to DE. Now we will try to execute an update command where bank S equals AT. This one does succeed. As you can see, 44 rows were updated. This is because this user does have the privileges to update records where bank S equals AT. Finally, we will try to run an insert command. This user is not allowed to run insert commands. Here you can see that when we try to execute this insert command, an error message is provided saying that this action is denied by the policy. This concludes our demonstration of how DAE for Windows can enforce data access policies through the HANA DB Studio application.